Hello, Potato! Let's get into it and continue on with this bin today. I would like to finish this bin today, but I don't think that's really likely. So we're starting out with an old Target bag. I'm guessing it's going to all be more horror movie figures. Well, the post looks good on this one. It's for A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now that's in there. Let's see if we can focus on it, which I will then mess up by putting the figure right up in front of the camera. And yep, it is indeed Freddy Krueger. And I think this one's the bloody version. So I may have gotten this one at the comic shop. Funnily enough, the comic shop I went to, I think is still the comic shop I go to. It's just changed locations like 4 times and names once. Because I want to say when I got this, the comic shop was called A Touch of Magic, and now it's A1 Comics. And they've moved like 4 or 5 times. And this comes not only with your full-size Freddy, but with a little Freddy. I don't remember why. Can you sit on Freddy's shoulders? Not really. Nope, no you can't. Put you back there. It's a I don't think Freddy ever got this bloody in the movies. They went a little overboard in the blood with this, I think. But yet, limited articulation, shoulder, the expression's a little, I don't know, is gormless the right word for that? I don't think that's a great expression. But nothing in the legs, just twists at the waist. This arm just kind of goes back and forth. Hat does not come off. Put you back there. And move on. This time in an old Walmart bag. We got Chucky. See, these ones, for some reason, seem to have held up a lot better than the ones we've looked at up to this point. From Child's Play 2, specifically. I've got a box set of him from Bride of Chucky as well, with him with Tiffany. Which, honestly, only one of these movies that are really any good are the first one and Bride of Chucky. 2 was weird. 3 I thought was kind of stupid. Seed of Chucky I didn't really care for. I think the reason I liked Bride of Chucky so much, especially when it came out, is that I was expecting it to be garbage because 2 and 3 weren't very good. And I had such low expectations, kind of the reverse of Phantom Menace syndrome. I had such low expectations for Bride of Chucky that it seemed really good to me. I've watched Cult of Chucky and Curse of Chucky, and they're okay. I have not watched the new one with Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky. Love Mark Hamill. Love Luke Skywalker. Love the Joker. He's not Chucky. All right. We're taking a break from horror for a second here. Oh, I hope that goes back in. We've got toys from Reboot. Do you remember Reboot? Reboot was a cartoon in the, I don't know. Are they supposed to do that? I hope they're supposed to do that. Reboot was a figure stand. Oh, okay, that's good to know. I think maybe they're supposed to pop off, like, when you fight them or something. Reboot was a computer-animated cartoon in the, like, late 90s? Mid to late 90s? Set inside of a state-of-the-art computer. And they tried to reboot a few times, I think, over the years, and just never successfully done so. Which, it had some interesting ideas about how computers worked. But it was a fun little show, and for the time, I mean, the CG in it was really good for the time. I'm thinking the arms are maybe supposed to pop off when they fight or something, because they come off and in too easily. But these were, I think the villain was, there was multiple villains. There was Hexadecimal, but I think that was the female villain. And she wasn't the main one. She was like a secondary villain. And I think I focused on Freddy there, didn't I? She was like a secondary villain. I don't remember what the main villain's name was, but I believe these were his henchmen. And I bought them just because I liked the character designs. I think they look cute as figures. These guys might legitimately get to stay out. So far, nothing in the last couple days has stayed out. The last thing that stayed out was Buzz Lightyear. He got a shelf space. And so far, nothing from this bin has gotten to stay out. I would kind of like to keep the Movie Maniacs figures out, but I would need a long shelf I could put them all next to each other. I want to say, in the old house, there were shelves that were lined just like a foot below the ceiling all the way around the room, and they were up on that because they could all be lined up next to each other. And I'm making hand motions you can't see here, which is great video. But moving on. All right, another Movie Maniac. Yes, I had a lot of these. I want to say I think the only ones I never bought were like the Blair Witch, because she doesn't actually appear in the movie, and I don't know what they're basing that character design on. And Shaft, because he's not from a horror movie by any stretch of the imagination. Now that said, I did buy the Escape from New York figure, also not from a horror movie. We need to tilt down a little bit. I think we do, because you can't see like any of the stuff I just put out. Yep, next is Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let's get his little props in his hands. I may have done that backwards, but he's got his chainsaw, which is only slightly bent. He's got a little hammer. He comes with a severed head, which is no way this camera. Oh, there we go. Which hopefully YouTube will pick as a thumbnail. And a severed arm. I think he probably has like the most detailed stuff of anything from that early series, because I want to say he's another Series 1 figure. Quite bloody, so probably another comic shop find. I've never been a huge fan of the Chainsaw movies. I mean, I will acknowledge the first one is absolutely a classic film, but just it's not one that I've ever super been into. But I like the character. I think the character is interesting. I love the design of the figure. It's a great sculpt. Very little articulation. I think just the shoulders and at the elbow on that one. I think at the sleeve on this one. I don't think it's actually possible to make him hold the chainsaw properly. But we're not going to worry about it because he's probably going back in the box anyways. Moving on. Oh, I guess I did open them. We have another Terminator 2 one. Oh, this one, the base came apart. Maybe then the one I didn't open was the exoskeleton. This one's kind of interesting. Comes with multiple bodies, actually. So we have... What was his name on X-Files? He was partnered with Reyes. What was his name, though? I don't remember. But yeah, it comes with the exploded metal foundry body. But also, we can pop that off without ripping it apart. Comes with his just damaged body from earlier in the film. He's got more articulation than a lot of them, but I guess it's because he's a later series one. And also this little flexi thing, of course, that's the part he uses to run through the stepdads with. But that also pops off. Comes with him as like the part where he's climbing up the back of the car during the chase early on. And you also just have like a normal arm for some reason. I don't remember why. I don't think he came with a gun or anything. Oh, I guess maybe he did because it's in his holster there. And it looks like it actually does come out. But he's got his police gun belt actually is a separate piece. You can take it off when you take him apart. Like so. If and you really wanted to, for some reason. But yeah, I'm thinking that gun does actually come out of the holster. Let's put him back like this, though, because I think for display purposes, this is the cooler body. Yep, although for picture purposes, I'm probably going to switch it back to the other when I take today's Instagram picture. Yep, he comes with a lot of pieces. It's interesting how some characters come with virtually nothing, and some come with just a ton of stuff. And they were all, like, you know, the same price. None of these were box sets or anything. Alright, this feels like a big thing. Oh, what the... Oh! Oh, you know what? This needs to be just put together. Here we are. It's all put together. It's Bob and Doug McKenzie from the Great White North. Now, if you are not familiar with who these are, they were played by Rick Moranis and... Oh, something Thomas. It's the same name as the Wendy's guy. Dan Thomas? Oh, I feel bad now, because they're both great comedians. And originally the characters appeared on a Canadian sketch comedy show called SCTV, which I have seen very little of, because I know it aired here because a lot of people are aware of these characters, but I think it was before my time. I am mostly familiar with them from their movie, Strange Brew. Now, this is actually two different sets that click together. Bob and Doug came separately, and they come with just a ton of detail work. The little patties here, I think they're probably ham. I don't remember. I'm guessing they're ham steaks, because I think there's a thing with them in ham. Or Canadian bacon, probably. And then we've got beer, and the beer in the cooler does actually come out. And if you look, I don't know if it really shows up on camera that well, but some bottles don't have a bottle cap. This isn't one of them. Some bottles don't have a bottle cap, and some bottles do. I don't know if you can really see that on the camera or not. And so some of them have actually been drunk, and some of them are unopened. And such detail work that, I'm not going to take that, I wrapped these in tape so I wouldn't lose them. It came with donuts, which actually... he's eating one right there. And bottle caps. It came with bottle caps for the bottles that are emptied. And I believe it also talks. I don't know if it still works. Let's find out. Sort of.
It's a jelly.
There we go.
How's it going, eh? It's a jelly. How's it going, eh?
Well, I think I got them on the right side because I think that was Rick Moranis' voice. Dave Thomas. Dave Thomas. Sorry I yelled. Dave doesn't work. Probably in fresh batteries. I think this is the first thing today that I genuinely would like to keep out, but there are just so many small pieces to this. It is such a beautifully detailed set. And weirdly, for some reason, in the box there was another, I think these are one of the gems from Crash Bandicoot, and a Star Wars droid. I have no idea why they were in there. I wonder if I was just perhaps packing things up quickly and this had somehow gotten missed in the more appropriate area. I love the design on these droids. They don't seem to stand up very well, but I love the design. Those are probably my favorite thing about the prequels, is those particular droids. Alright, well, I want to finish this today, but I don't think that's possible. There's another 5 or 6 bags in here. Let's do one more thing and we'll call it quits for today. But this is, unless something super fantastic in this bag, this is my winner for today. Bob and Doug McKenzie. That's another Movie Maniac. You know, this might be a contender, but I think I'm still going to give it to Bob and Doug there. It's an Army of Darkness figure. But it's not Ash, it's Evil Ash. Here we go. Obviously, he's one of the later series. I don't remember if he came with in the same series with Ash or not. I'm guessing that means Ash is probably also in this box, so we'll see him tomorrow. Yep, Evil Ash. So a lot of McFarlane today. Again, just love the detail on this. I love the detail on McFarlane figures from back in the day. Got the cape, it's a separate piece. I mean, it doesn't come off. Got the little, his hair is actually rubbery. His mask. I love the detail work on these. I guess was it Mezco now? I have a couple of Mezco figures. I have like a Gremlin and Gizmo. And I think one or two others. And they're nice. But I mean, they're certainly a lot more posable, a lot more articulation, a lot more accessories than the old Movie Maniacs came with. And even a lot of the same figures. I know there's a Michael Myers and a Freddy and a Jason. There's like 5 different Jasons, one from each movie. And I know there's an Ash, and there's like Ash versus Evil Dead Ash. And anyways, I'm just rambling now. So let's finish this up. Yep, so today, lots more Movie Maniacs. Not all horror this time. I got some science fiction with the Terminator over here. He's still on camera. He's still on camera mostly, partially. Yeah. We got some comedy. We got some children's programming. Yes, I do like weird assortments of things. And that just leaves it for me to tell you, request that you, ask that you, advise you. This might actually... I consider putting the Duloc Dungeon away and replacing it with this. Just this is so many little pieces that are absolutely going to get lost if I leave it somewhere that it can be jostled. This was definitely up on the high shelf by the ceiling where it couldn't get, touched. Oh, I'm sorry. I've distracted myself. Please remember to wash your hands carefully, wear your mask when out in public, practice your safe social distancing, and stay healthy so that I can see you in the next video.